I think he's taking steroids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and I
The shock hit the boxing world like a knockout punch. Reports are surfacing that Jake Paul has tested positive for steroids, just weeks before his mega fight with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. If this holds true, it doesn't just kill the upcoming fight with Gervonta Davis, it could end Jake Paul's boxing career. Because this isn't just another exhibition match, it's supposed to be Jake Paul's biggest step into real boxing legitimacy. But now, that step might turn into a freefall. So what's the truth? Is Jake really juicing, or is this just another round of internet chaos before fight night? Let's break it all down. The Gervonta Davis vs. Jake Paul showdown was already one of the most controversial fights of 2025. A 195-pound catchweight, a 6'1" YouTuber turned boxer versus a 5'5" knockout king who usually fights at 135. Everyone was calling it a mismatch, a circus fight, long before this steroid drama even started.
Bothered me at first, but and for a very short time, obviously it's not too much you could do about it if a guy doesn't want to fight you. But my thing is, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper, steps to do so. You could have told me that. You could have told me, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, or your team could have reached out and be like, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, and we'll circle back, or we won't. We just don't want to fight. It's cool, all right, but we're contracted to fight for a certain amount of purse and whatever the case may be. It's not. It don't work like that. You can't breach a contract.
And now, with reports swirling that Jake Paul tested positive for steroids, this entire fight might not even make it to November. But let's be clear, this isn't the first time Jake's been accused of using performance enhancers. In fact, these rumors have followed him from day one.
Are you on performance-enhancing drugs?
If taking Viagra counts, then yes.
Back in 2021, when Jake was still knocking out ex-UFC fighters like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, critics already pointed fingers at his rapid muscle growth. And then came the feud with UFC president Dana White, where things got real. White famously went off on Jake, saying, "I believe you're a cheater, and I believe you use steroids. Let's do this. I'll cocaine test myself for 10 years if you agree to random steroid testing for 2. That clip went viral. Jake laughed it off, claiming he'd never touched anything illegal, but fans never stopped speculating. Then in 2023, MMA fighter Dylan Danis reignited the fire, posting pictures of Jake, Logan Paul, and KSI, saying, "Don't do roids, kids."
Educate says I do steroids.
I think he's on a bunch of steroids.
Yeah, so those aren't allowed in the sports that I do, boxing or WWE. So go yourself.
Can I?
He even pointed out the acne and hair loss, common steroid side effects, fueling conspiracy theories that Jake's physique wasn't natural.
Speaking of bumps,
Went right over it.
those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be happening to taking PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
No, I'm just asking.
Go ahead.
Because I was just wondering. I
Go
looked at
ahead.
your face, it looked kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox. Those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm enraged. I'm not enraged at all.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's
you think
what
he's
I
on
feel like.
PEDs?
I don't care. You can be on horse tranquilizer steroids. You can get a whole new body from Walmart. You still getting slept.
Fast forward to today, and it's all come crashing down again, right before the biggest fight of his life. Word broke early this morning that Jake had allegedly failed a random test. Now, nothing's confirmed yet, but fans don't care. They've already made up their minds. The comments are brutal. Caught red-handed. Davis was right. Jake's a YouTube cheat. 195 pounds of pure protein powder and PEDs. Even pros are chiming in. Boxing pros like Shakur Stevenson and Lamont Roach called this matchup a freak show from day one.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
We went and took a circus show fight, and he said he was gonna retire. I believe him.
Why do you say he's a circus show fighter?
It's just for and giggles. Jake Paul is 200 pounds, and he's whatever he is. So.
Spoke to Roberto Diaz over in Florida, and I know he's part of your team. He was a little bit upset when all that news came out. He called it a duck. Would you call it a duck?
For sure. You can call it a spade, for sure. We're contracted to fight, and you go and take another fight. You breach that contract, and you go take another fight. That's a clear duck. I mean, obviously. So.
And now they're saying, we told you so. Because the truth is, Jake's body transformation has always raised eyebrows. When he debuted in 2020, he was lean, soft, 190 pounds tops. But by 2024, before the Mike Tyson fight, he was shredded, packed with muscle, and walking around at 225. Even Mike Perry joked, I don't know how you put on 25 pounds like that without a cheat code. But here's where it gets tricky. Jake knew this was coming. In September, just weeks ago, he told TMZ Sports, they can't use the steroid excuse because we have full random drug testing. They can literally knock on my door right now. He even threatened to sue anyone spreading false information. He said he was flattered people think he's too good to be clean. So if that's true, if Jake really has been tested all along, then where's this positive test coming from? Could it be fake news? Or did someone finally catch something?
Always love to make rumors up about me, but I do drug testing, the commission drug testing right before the fight, all these types of things.
They should focus on Canelo and his team, not on Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Jake
they
Paul
just pop.
Has been clean
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that people that actually pop for this they don't call them out. And then I'm over here looking like a doughboy. I got love handles, dog. That's after not eating for 3 weeks, basically. So if I was on that it wasn't working.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
The timeline's suspicious, too. Jake's set to fight Gervonta Davis on November 15th in Miami, a fight many already called dangerous. The size difference is insane. Jake's 6'1" and naturally around 195. Tank's 5'5", barely 135. Even with the catch weight, it's a 60-pound gap.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child, Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight.
And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves.
And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Fighters like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia all blasted the matchup online. Haney said, this isn't boxing anymore. It's WWE with gloves.
Jake Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight, and then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing, and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. I understand people saying, Gervonta got to go get his money, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Fans were already clowning the fight for being a money grab. Now, if Jake's on steroids, it goes from clown show to criminal.
I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked, I would do the same.
Let's talk about the science for a second. PEDs, or performance-enhancing drugs, can help boxers build muscle faster, recover quicker, and hit harder. That's why anti-doping agencies like VADA and USADA are so strict. Even trace amounts of banned substances can get a fight canceled instantly.
All right, I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room. Let's talk about PEDs, because that's the reason why guys don't fight as often either. They've got to clear their systems from their PED use. So just to be honest, guys. So if you have a fighter who is using something or whatever, you're not going to see them fighting as often because it's a lot easier to get caught if you're not having that downtime to clear anything out of your system that's not supposed to be there. So let's be serious. I know we don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but somebody's got to bring it up. Today it's me.
If Jake's test really came back positive, it's not just about him. It's about the entire event. Sponsors pull out, licenses get suspended, and Gervonta Davis? He could walk away without throwing a single punch and still collect his payday. The Florida State Boxing Commission reportedly hasn't made a public statement yet, but insiders say both camps are reviewing testing discrepancies. Translation, they're panicking.
I think he's taking steroids. Yeah. I do 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and
And then, dude, I'm not even sitting here being like, fuck him for that at all. This doesn't make that clear.
Okay. I mean, but in combat sports,
what do you think? Do you think he is or he isn't?
I think he has for sure, but I don't know if he is currently.
Why would he not? Why would he not? If you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's looking in the mirror. He's in his bathroom. And he's like, Dylan, I'm gonna kill this. And he's like injecting his. Because he's like, I gotta protect Nina.
Yeah, facts. And he did. Fair play to him. He did. Listen.
And he's like,
for all the criticisms,
he's looking a little more angular in the face.
The thing I've always thought is like, how do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger? I don't know that I'm not.
How do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger?
Like it's usually a process of getting bigger, leaning. He's leaning
now
out
you're onto
as
it.
He's
now you're. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Meanwhile, Jake's camp is denying everything. A source close to Jake told ESPN this morning, Jake hasn't tested positive for anything. This is fake news pushed by trolls and haters trying to mess with his head before the fight. But here's the thing. That's the same defense he's used for years. Every time there's a new accusation, Jake calls it a conspiracy. And to be fair, a lot of it has been speculation.
By the way, how much you weigh these days?
I'm heavy, big boy, 230s.
Damn, all right.
I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm gonna show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder.
But this time feels different, because it's not just internet trolls anymore. It's credible whispers from journalists, insiders, and even rival camps. One promoter even told Fight Hype, if this test holds, the fight's off. There's no way the commission clears it, not with that weight gap and drug talk. So yeah, this could be the end of Gervonta versus Jake before it even begins. Let's be real though. Even before the PED rumors, this fight had spectacle written all over it. Gervonta Davis is a generational talent, one of the hardest punchers pound for pound. Jake Paul is a YouTuber turned boxer who's been picking off faded MMA stars and semi-retired boxers. Fans aren't stupid. They know what this fight is. It's not about proving who's the better boxer. It's about proving who's the bigger brand. And with Netflix involved, behind-the-scenes documentaries, filming, and global pay-per-view deals signed, there's no way promoters want this fight canceled. That's why, even with these PED rumors, they'll do everything possible to spin it. You'll probably start hearing phrases like inconclusive results or supplement contamination. That's the PR playbook. Because when that much money's on the line, nobody wants the show to stop.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're gonna want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What's it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So, you know, it's money-making purposes only, you know. It is what it is, people.
But if we're being honest, it's not crazy to ask the question, is Jake Paul on steroids? Let's just look at the track record. He's bulked up dramatically in 5 years. He recovers faster than most natural athletes. And every time someone challenges him to long-term testing, he dodges. Even Dana White's offer, 2 years of random steroid testing, was never accepted. And yeah, he says he's tested by VADA, but fans haven't seen a single official report. No screenshots, no paperwork, nothing. Compare that to guys like Crawford, Canelo, or Usyk. Their VADA results are public. Jake's are always private. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe he's hiding behind the business side of boxing, where promoters control testing and celebrities get special treatment. Let's not forget, this isn't just about drugs, it's about image.
I respect Jake Paul as a marketer, promoter, but as a prize fighter, I don't, because I've been around the game of boxing for over 20 years. If you're calling yourself a professional boxer, stop fighting people that are 50 years old. Bro, he's fighting the retired MMA fighters, you know, the UFC fighters that are like 40 and 50.
You know why? Because you could fix those fights and it's not illegal. It's exhibition.
Jake Paul built his empire by proving people wrong. When the world laughed at him for boxing, he went and knocked out Ben Askren in 1 round. When critics said he'd never beat a real boxer, he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And when he lost to Tommy Fury, he came back stronger, took down Mike Perry, and even outboxed Mike Tyson. That's why, if these PED allegations are true, everything he's built crumbles overnight. All those victories, all that credibility, gone. Because in boxing, your name is everything. Once people think you're cheating, you're done.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has stayed mostly silent. Tank's not even entertaining the drama. He's in camp, training hard, and letting Jake self-destruct publicly. So what do you think? Is Jake Paul guilty of juicing, or is this another PR stunt to sell more tickets? And if it's true, Should Gervonta Davis even bother fighting him or walk away and protect his record? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Fight Field for more boxing talk. I'll catch you in the next video.